right. Hey there, everyone. Dr. Beth Westy here, and today I want to talk about if your nutrition should change with your hormonal cycle. Is that a good idea? What does that mean? How does that work? This is oftentimes a really new concept for women, which is really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that women don't learn enough about their bodies, their cycles, their hormones, and what they do, and how to work with them to just increase your health, your energy, sleep better, perform better, recover better, boost your metabolism, all these amazing things, right? So I'm gonna talk about this really briefly here, just do a breakdown quick, and then talk about eating for your hormonal cycle, and should this be a thing that you do? And what about if you're on birth control or menopause or, a lot of other things? These are all really important questions. So with your hormonal cycle, when you're looking at really incorporating different food or just acknowledging that your hormone cycle changes, it's just helpful to start with, oh, what is this? Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Audrey. So day 1 is the first day of your cycle, day that your period starts. Day 14 is about when you ovulate and when things, shift over, right? And day 28 is when that ends and things start over again. Now you can have a cycle that is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, and that's totally normal, right? You don't have to have it be the same all the time. Some women have a 26-day cycle. Some women have a 38-day cycle. Is that longer? Yes. Is it important to know that it's longer than that's normal for you? Yes. But you still navigate through the month and take advantage of the differences in the phase that you're in. How do you know when you ovulate? How do you know when you should shift your eating? Or if things are off and you're like, ooh, I was really stressed and I got sick and I skipped a period and I don't know, this is where I think I should be. How do I know? Oh, how do I navigate this? This is a question I get from a ton of women. Basal body temperature. Basal body temperature is tracking. Most women only care about this when you're like really trying to get pregnant or really trying not to get pregnant. That you're like, I'm watching my basal body, I'm tracking it evenly, and here we go. Basal body temperature here is just your temperature first thing in the morning. You can use a regular thermometer. It doesn't have to be a fancy, expensive thermometer. Just get something at Target or whatever, basic, under the tongue thermometer. It can be an ear one. It can be one of those, over your forehead one. Fine, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just use the same one all the time. When you wake up in the morning, don't get out of bed. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't drink water. Take your temperature, write it down. That's your basal body temperature. Your temperature at about the same time every morning. If you wake up at 6 a.m. during the week, but you sleep until 9 a.m. on the weekends, just take that into account, right? Just take that into account. But your basal body temperature should be lower here during the estrogen phase when your body has more estrogen, days 1 through 14. And then it'll dip and spike and then be higher during the progesterone phase. This is really, really important. When your basal body temperature is higher and your body is dealing with more progesterone, do you think your body is going to be adaptable to heat better or worse? Yeah, worse, right? It's tougher to be in high heat conditions. If it's hotter outside and you're going for a run and your body's like, I just can't deal with the heat. Oh, what's happening to my body? Oh, I just don't understand. It was hot last week, but now I can't take it. And you're like, I shouldn't be such a wuss. I should just suck it up and I shouldn't be such a wuss about it, right? No, that's not that you're being a wuss. It's that your body is higher in temperature naturally. So your system has to react and respond to that. So it's very normal that you should think about altering what you're eating and when, and how you're fueling your body to match with what your system needs. So when we look at this, I talk about cooling foods and warming foods. You see I'm blue and red, it's cooling and warming, right? That aligns with estrogen to help your body produce and maintain the correct amount of estrogen, and then produce and maintain the correct amount of progesterone when you're doing that. The other thing to note and understand here is that estrogen is going to burn carb naturally. Progesterone is going to burn fat a little bit easier. Again, look at that basal body temperature being higher. That means that your body can tap into deeper fat burning stores in a different way because you have that natural thermogenic property working with you. Yes. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that because your body energy is higher here and your digestive system is working better, it's easier to hydrate here. Your body doesn't get as bloated. All that stuff is different here versus here. You have a tendency to be more drained in energy. It's easier to feel like, oh, you're just fighting against things. And you can have a little bit more brain fog. You can feel a little bit more run down. You can feel a little bit, more dehydrated because you need to hydrate differently as well. But you need to make sure you're getting enough electrolytes and sugars mixed in so that your system uploads hydration into your cells. So I recommend hydrating differently here versus here. Game changer for a lot of women. Now, the biggest and important thing to realize and recognize is that if you're eating the same all month long, you're missing out on the warming and the cooling. You're missing out on the advantages of these hormones. But moreover than that, you actually can be sending your system into a depletion mode by eating even the same calories, right? The same nutrients, the same protein all month long. If your eating doesn't change, that's a problem. That's a big, big problem. So I'm going to draw another little graph, and I haven't drawn this before. So if you've been following me for a while, if you follow me on YouTube, my YouTube channel is just Dr. Beth Westy. You may not have seen this. I haven't mentioned this before yet on my podcast, which is the Female Health Solution. So again, plus it's hard to draw graphs on a podcast. Who would listen to that podcast? This is a fantastic graph of your hormones today. Sorry. That's just funny. That's funny. Like, who would... I spit too when I said that. Classy. Anyway. Okay, so again, if you follow me... Oh, also, if you are familiar with the books that I have out, The Female Fat Solution, which is on Amazon, The Female Menopause Solution, Amazon, I don't have this in those books either. But I want you to just kind of get an idea and concept around the nutrient value that you need throughout the month, okay? And how this plays into it. So I'm going to use this example here and just do another little graph here. So this is again day 1. This would be about day 14. This would be about day 28. And then I'm also going to start this over again at day 1 for month 2. I'm going to make this look like a 1 differently. Oh, I should change the 1 and the 14. Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, so when we're looking at nutrient overall, where women get stuck a lot is, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to eat healthy all week, all month. I've got this set up. I'm going to nail it. Yeah. Okay, super duper. And if you're using any apps, this is where I have people ask me this all the time. Where should I track? Where should I keep track of this? There's a lot of good apps that can just kind of keep track of your food, but they're often going to tell you, eat this percentage fat, this percentage carb, this percentage protein. But that's the same all month long. That's no good. That's no good because your body doesn't need the same nutrients all month long. It needs more here. So this is a nutrient value. Nutrient value. Newt. It says nut, but nutrient value amount, right? So I don't like using just calories, but if we were to say calories, right? Say you're doing, say this is, 1,800 here. 1,800 calories here, right? You're doing 1,800 calories. And then over here, you're going to go up, right? Oh, I need a little bit more, right? And then say this is 2,200 calories up here at this amount here. And this is day 28. So you're like, oh, that's the last day of the period. The period starts over here. Does that mean that you should immediately drop right down to, sorry, that's a little drastic. Let me keep this the same about. Try and make my graph accurate. So this is about the same, 1,800. You guys see that? This is terrible. Let me try it again. This is about, again, the same 1,800 here. Should you immediately just drop it back down? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. As there's a gradual increase, and when your cycle starts, keep in mind that there's a lot of work that your body is doing. It's expending a lot of energy. Even though hormonally, everything drops here on day 1, like your estrogen and progesterone are the lowest point in your hormonal cycle, like the first 3 days. Days 1, 2, maybe even to 3 before estrogen starts to kick off again. So, but your body, even though the hormones are the lowest and sort of even keel, your body's doing a lot of work. It's going through turning things over, basically taking some of your insides and shoving them out of your body. It's a lot of work. It's a big job. So you might have more energy. I know that women sometimes feel like, I get so hungry 2 days before my period, 1 day before my period, whatever, and then my period starts and I'm absolutely famished still. I feel like I need to eat a ton. Is that normal? Is that okay? Absolutely. So a lot of times when you're looking at, calorie-wise, but again, nutrient value-wise, you're not looking at, just because it's day 1, I'm going to drop that down. No, you want to let it still even out for a couple of days before you bring that down. So not this. Fuel your body properly. And the other thing too is that when you start doing this, it's going to feel better when you start giving your body the nutrient it needs. You're going to start noticing, God, this is messy. I am so sorry. You're not going to have a ton of cravings. Your system is just going to feel better. It's going to have an easier time with everything when you are fueling it properly. So again, I put a calorie amount on here, but I'm not just talking about calories, right? Because 100 calories of almonds does not equal 100 calories of gummy bears. So when I say more calorie, more nutrient, I'm talking about more protein. So this could be an extra protein shake and a protein bar a day, right? It could be an extra snack, apples, peanut butter, hemp seeds, right? Like a ton of different options that you can have to boost the nutrient here without just saying, I'm going to eat more. Guess that means an extra chocolate bar. No, that's not what that means. But it just means giving your system more. But realizing if you're eating the same all month long, even if it's healthy, even if it's clean, even if it's paleo, even if it's whatever, you're still missing the key component of working with your body and your hormones here. So that's why I wanted to draw this graph out and really give you this visual of how this looks for a lot of women and how to start paying attention for yourself. That's the best way to go about this. When you start listening to your body and realizing, oh my gosh, in the afternoons, I am starving. No wonder why I'm starving. Instead of feeling bad and trying to restrict myself, I'm going to actually give my body an extra protein bar as a snack. Super duper. It's going to feel way better. You're going to have a much better result. And then you're not going to feel guilty. If you force yourself to stay the same and do that month after month after month, your system can see this gap, this variance here, from here to here. It can see that as a depletion. And that's where you're going to get things like more cramps, more cravings, more discomfort, right? And you're more likely to go into binging and things like that. So it's really important just to understand, okay, where am I at? What's going on? And how can I help my system the most? How can I align with this so that I feel good and I keep things going throughout the month? So I'm going to be talking a lot more about this in the next couple of weeks here, really tying in more specifics of eating and your hormones and other disruptors. If you have endometriosis, if you have fibroids, if you have PCOS, that's what got me started. Is I actually struggled a ton with PCOS and horrific cysts that would burst, put me on the floor. Just couldn't even stand up anymore. Yep. If you are in menopause, if you are on birth control, you still need to be following this. I'm going to be diving into more specifics over the next couple of weeks, so keep that in mind. And I do have a 12-week challenge that I take women through the exact meal guide that I created for the female body, incorporating a ton of metabolism tactics. So in the comments, I'll just put a link to the next wait list. There's just a ton of info I put on the wait list as well. You get a little sneak peek. You can kind of get things going if you want to. But again, my goal, my mission is just to educate women. So I have a ton of resources out there, like my YouTube channel, podcast, books, and everything else. But my favorite is I get to work with women one-on-one in the 12-week challenge and really guide them step by step to getting and seeing better results. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. If you did find this helpful, please share this information with somebody you know. If you have recently struggled and been talking to a friend about this, please share this video with them. More women knowing about this is going to be so empowering and allowing women to understand more about their systems and about things you can do to help get ahead of the health issues that women have had for way too long for ridiculous reasons. So, all right, that's what I got for you tonight. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you later.